Levack Goz here with you on 104.5 The Team, and joining us on the phone lines, he is the author of the book that is now out, WWE, Absolutely Everything You Need to Know. Dean Miller joins us on the phone lines. Dean, I'm a WWE fan. I had a chance to go through the book yesterday. It's really fun. It's entertaining. What inspired you to make a book about everything you need to know about the WWE?
Well, like you, I'm a longtime fan, and I actually worked at WWE doing books there for 7 years, and we have a great partner in DK, and they had a series of books called Absolutely Everything You Need to Know. They've done them, I think, in the past on Star Wars, Marvel, and they wanted to do one on WWE because of, there's such a rich and colorful history. It just really lent itself well to the format. And they asked me if me and another writer by the name of Steve Pantaleo wanted to put something together, and we were honored. And it was just so much fun picking out the facts and figures, and then seeing the photos that WWE supplied and how it all came together into such an amazing package.
It's so different because I don't want to call it a comic book because it's not really a comic book, but like with so many graphics and bubbles and facts and everything like that, it seems like it's entertaining for maybe older WWE fans and kids as well, with everything going on that you want in the book.
Yeah, the goal of the book, for me at least, was I wanted a book that if you were brand new to WWE, you could just dig in and start learning all sorts of things about not only the people you see on TV right now, but people from throughout its history, all the great events. I also wanted something, if someone was a big-time fan when they were a kid and really hadn't watched it but thought about getting back into it, they could learn more. And finally, I wanted something that if you are a longtime fan, there's still some facts and figures that you just didn't know, and it really enhances your enjoyment of WWE. And so we tried to hit all those audiences, and I think the format really does that well.
So we're both WWE fans. You're working on this book. Was there one stat, one story, one wrestler that the stat jumped out to you and you thought, I never knew this, or this is really interesting to me?
Well, one thing is, as a longtime fan, of course, you always had that number of 93,000, which is the number of fans that packed the Pontiac Silverdome to watch Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 3, and that was the record. That was the record for decades. That was the record, and I hadn't even realized. But just 2 years ago, they had another WrestleMania down in Dallas in Jerry World, as people like to call it sometimes. And they put 101,000 fans into that. So that long-time record where people saw Hogan body slam Andre, that's no longer the record. Now you got to quote the 101,000 that actually showed up in Dallas to see that WrestleMania.
Joining us here on the phone lines on 104.5 The Team, it is Dean Miller. He is the author of the book that's now out, WWE, Absolutely Everything You Need to Know. I'm flipping through these pages. It's pay-per-views, it's wrestlers, it's history. Was there one part of the book that was maybe more difficult to piece together or do right compared to others?
Well, I think the Hall of Fame section was a little hard because they wanted to keep it to a nice two-page spread, and I honestly think I could have done an entire book on the Hall of Fame. And so I just wanted to get some great facts and figures about the Hall of Fame and not give short shrift. Obviously, some of those Hall of Famers, like Andre, Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, have their own spread, so you could cover them in a little bit more detail. But I would have loved to have done even more. Particularly, I think there's a lot of Hall of Famers that, as years go on, people know a little less about them, and so something like this can help people learn a little bit more about not just Bruno Sammartino, but the Iron Sheik and the Wild Samoans, different kinds of competitors like that.
And I know throughout your career you've produced autobiographies for Shawn Michaels, Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, Batista. Working with those type of guys, any favorite stories from either a WWE wrestler, manager, or any time during your career at the WWE that you'd like to share?
Sure. Well, I really enjoyed doing Shawn's autobiography, and it was funny because Shawn is I did a signing with him after he did his book in Chicago at WrestleMania 22. And the wrestler, they get so many fans, and it's so popular. And so we were signed up to do 2 hours, and at the end of 2 hours, there were still like 50 fans waiting. And we had to get Shawn back for Hall of Fame. And he said, well, I really want to help people out. I want to do this. So he stood up and he said, listen, guys, I will sign, but I can't personalize. I can only sign one item, and that way you guys all still get a chance. And he said, "Is that okay?" And everyone's like, "Yeah, absolutely, absolutely." And he's like, "Okay, I'm telling you, if someone tries to break the rules, we might have to stop." And I was like, "No, we won't break the rules." So we're like, we got the 50 people. Sean's trying to get there as quickly as possible. And the third guy comes up and he hands the book. And he goes, "Sean, I know you didn't say anything, but I have this championship belt, and I'd really like you to sign it." And Sean just popped up and stood on the table, and he said, "This is the guy, everybody. This is the guy." And they started booing the poor guy, and he slunk away. Sean stuck around and signed for the rest of them, but I worry what happened to that poor guy after the crowd got a hold of him.
Might have been a sweet chin music later on that we didn't know about from HBK, delivering it to that guy. Where can people find this amazing book? Where is it available right now?
It's available on Amazon.com, or it's available in most bookstores, and even if you have a local favorite bookstore that you'd like to continue to shop at, I'm sure if they don't have it on the shelves, they can get it for you. But pretty much any bookstore and Amazon as well.
Again, it is WWE, absolutely everything you need to know. He is Dean Miller. Dean, appreciate the time. I love the work. Hopefully we'll talk again in the near future. Take care.
Anytime. Thank you very much.